On Family Jury tonight, his wife-to-be eloped with her secret lover 2 days before their wedding. She was 3 months pregnant for him by the time she left. Mr. John wants his son back, and no logic in the world would make him change his mind. But the jury would have to rule beyond emotions. Where is the jury's standing? Find out on this episode of Family Jury. This is Family Jury.
Rufus, International Millennium. So now here you did.
I beg, put Esquire.
For what? You be lawyer.
Okay, no vex. Now here I did. Anything.
Oh, you didn't ask me anything. You don't sweep this court hall.
Which court hall?
How many court halls we get?
Okay. So you don't join them, Abi? You don't join them to turn me to cleaner. What did they happen for this? What did all this was said for this court?
See, Oga Rufus, I use God beg you. I join Jesus Christ inside. I beg, go carry broom come sweep this court hall because I don't want Judge Wahala. He go soon come.
I beg no verse. You get small credit for your phone, I beg.
Eh?
Credit.
And they talk about court hall, you they tell me another thing.
I go clean them.
Rufus, my man!
But I beg, give me your phone now. May you send message somewhere? Only text message.
Take, make you no pass text message.
That one I insult.
I beg.
How they take
now propose this thing. You know that.
Open this thing, I beg.
I beg, give me this thing. And use my phone quick, make I carry on.
Shut up, I beg. Only 1 minute I want use.
They chance me. I blame you. Now you won't send this message to?
Correct. You don't go.
Yeah.
Sorry, just give me 1 minute. I use your phone. Want me to make call?
For what?
Yeah? Make a for tell the person when I send this message when I don't receive the credit when I send give him. I beg, wait. Okay, hello. Yes, I call you to know whether I don't get the credit when I send give you. Yes, so I know. Don't worry. And 200 naira check I send. No vex, I know this more. But I send them through my colleague phone. So I know. See, next time I go send you back. Hello. Yeah, you don't cut. I should never even tell me say thank you very much. I love you. Hey.
Oga Rufus, so now so you useless rich. You borrow my phone, they send your girlfriend recharge card of 200 naira. You useless.
I beg, I don't hear. Take your phone,
I beg, give me
your phone.
Tomorrow night you go tell your wife so say they never pay you salary. Yeah, man. I beg, see this thing.
Come on, idiot. Jealousy. Jealousy. I don't send the thing to give you. Come on there. Come, man, I don't prove for you. Let him there. I don't carry proof, idiot.
This is Family Jury.
Clerk,
My lord.
please read the next case on the course list.
All right, my lord. Case file number FMJ 302/2015. It is a case between Mr. Leonard and Mr. and Mrs. Sampson. Mr. Leonard files against Mr. and Mrs. Sampson for illegal possession of his biological child. My lord.
Counsel is in court, please.
My lord, my name is Barrister John, standing for the respondent. Thank you, my lord.
My lord, my name is Barrister Austin. I stand for the petitioner. Thank you, my lord. Sir, can you Introduce yourself in this honorable court.
My name is Mr. Leonard.
Good. Mr. Leonard, are you married?
I'm married.
Have you got kids?
I haven't got kids yet.
So, how old is your marriage?
Well, 3 years.
Mr. Leonard, I want you to tell this honorable court while you filed a case against Mr. and Mrs. Sampson.
Mrs. Sampson connived with Mr. Sampson and ran away with my child.
What? How? Can you throw more light to that effect?
You see, Mrs. Sampson happens to be my ex-girlfriend. We dated for 5 good years, which after I proposed to her, she agreed to marry me. While we were running around for our wedding, then Mr. Sampson came into the picture. All of a sudden, before you know it, she started behaving strange. And before you know it, she disappeared with Mr. Sampson with my 3-month-old pregnancy.
What? Mrs. Sampson was 3 months pregnant for you? She told you all that?
Well, we actually went to see a doctor who confirmed her pregnant in my presence.
Mr. Leonard, did you have any evidence to prove that we are not speculating that Mrs. Sampson was pregnant for you?
There is nothing like speculations here. I have here with me the test result of that pregnancy. And I can also give you the doctor's number for verification.
May I have it?
Here.
My lord, may I be permitted to tender this test as an evidence to prove that Mrs. Sampson was pregnant for Mr. Lear? Thank you, my lord.
My lord.
Please mark this document as Exhibit A of the respondent. Barrister Austin, proceed please.
Mr. Leonard, so what happened? How did Mr. Sampson interrupt the wedding?
Mr. Sampson was dating my wife secretly. And just 2 days to our wedding, she disappeared.
2 days of the wedding?
Yes.
Does that imply that you had already paid all the traditional marriage rites?
I paid. I paid immediately, few days. I paid a few days. The doctor confirmed her pregnant. And all she could do was to disappear.
And you never set your eyes on her since then?
Well, the news I heard was that she had a secret wedding with that bastard called Mr. Sampson.
That'll be all for now.
Thank you.
My lord, I rest my case.
Mr. Leonard, you said that Mrs. Sampson was your girlfriend before she got married to Mr. Sampson.
She wasn't just a girlfriend. I paid her bride price and we're waiting for our white wedding.
Well, let me correct you in that aspect. There is difference between paying bride price and performing marriage introduction. What you did was just an introduction. You never paid her bride price until another man did.
I paid her bride price and was waiting for our wedding. But that's not the point here.
It is. It is, Mr. Lawrence. Let us just get it from where it all started. There's no doubt that Mrs. Sampson is married to Mr. Sampson. But there is a reason why she left you. And that reason is what I want you to tell this honorable court.
There is no good reason, all right? We're already living as husband and wife to be.
Well, we will come to that later. You said your marriage was how many years?
For 3 years.
How long did you wait before you got married to another woman after you discovered that Mrs. Sampson here was already married to Mr. Sampson?
I waited for 2 years.
You waited for 2 years, and now your marriage is 3 years.
Yes.
That implies that it took you 5 years before you realized that you are supposed to look for Mrs. Sampson to demand for the 3 months pregnancy.
It doesn't matter how long it takes me to look for what belongs to me.
Mr. Leonard, have you for once approached Mrs. Sampson to ask for the 3 months pregnancy she had for you before she got married to another man?
I wouldn't have filed if I hadn't spoken to her.
What was her response?
She said the baby died after delivery.
And you didn't believe her?
Why would I believe her? I know that my child is well and alive.
Why do you believe that the child is still alive and well even when she told you the truth?
Because my instinct told me that.
Your instinct told you that?
Yes.
Didn't you think that your instinct could be lying to you?
Never. It has never failed me before. Not on this one.
My lord, that is all for now.
Mrs. Simpson ran away from Mr. John, carrying his 3 months baby. Years later, Mr. John comes in search of his baby boy.
Mr. Sampson was dating my wife secretly. And just 2 days to our wedding, she disappeared.
2 days of a wedding?
Yes.
Does that imply that you had already paid all the traditional marriage rites?
I paid. I paid immediately, few days. I paid a few days. The daughter confirmed her pregnant. And all she could do was to disappear.
He wants the jury to grant him custody of his son.
I never left him for Samson. I didn't do that. In fact, if you must know, I left him because I discovered a secret which he has been hiding from me ever since.
Will the jury deny or uphold his position? Time to find answers on Family Jury. This is Family Jury.
Counsel for the respondent, please come forward for your client's examination.
Mrs. Sampson, I believe you heard everything Mr. Leonard said.
Yes, I did.
What do you have to say about that?
Actually, Leonard is right when he said we both agreed to get married.
And-
that was right.
And you were willing to marry him?
I was willing to marry him. In fact, I was willing to be his wife.
Very well then. Before you met Mr. Leonard here, you suddenly changed your mind after you met Mr. Sampson.
I beg your pardon? That is totally lie. Who said that? Please, I never left him for Samson. I didn't do that. In fact, if you must know, I left him because I discovered a secret which he has been hiding from me ever since.
A secret? What secret was that?
Leonard here was a drug addict.
Really?
Yes, he was into drugs and hid it from me. Not until I discovered it few days to our wedding.
How did you find out?
I made my inquiries and realized that this man here has been into drugs even before we met. My brother, when I discovered that, I had to take off. I couldn't continue with the wedding anymore.
Very well then. What about the pregnancy? Were you pregnant for him?
Yes, I was pregnant for him. I won't deny that.
Good. Did you come back to tell him about the baby after you got married?
Look at him, ask him there. Just look at him and ask him. I told him, and you know what he told me? I quote his words. I'm not interested. Go to hell with you and your unborn child. That was exactly the lines he gave to me that very day. And my brother, I would have given him this child if the child is alive. At least considering the fact that he's now childless. But it's quite unfortunate. I lost my child after birth.
Wow.
Hello? That will be all for now.
Next on Family Jury.
Mrs. Simpson, I put it to you that you were such a white liar. Because Mark Line told me that you gave birth to a baby girl and that she is alive.
Eh? Did you give birth to the child? I said I gave birth to a boy, not a girl. What is all this?
Leonard, leave my family alone. I'm begging you now. Leave them alone, Leonard. Please. Hey.
Not until you give me access to my child. Yes.
Okay. You will never, oh God, you will never have access to that child. Do you hear me? And yes, I gave birth to a girl, not a boy. But over my dead body, that how you said this, your two dark eyes on my child. Do you hear me? Over my dead body, Leonard. Bet it you see.